The airport terminal hums with the chaos of 1,000 lives colliding, but all I hear is the agent's voice slicing through the noise. "I'm sorry, sir, but there's no ticket under your name." My heart lurches, a cold fist tightening in my chest. I turn to Claire, expecting her to mirror my confusion, but she just shrugs, a small, careless lift of her shoulders that feels like a betrayal in itself. Her eyes, usually so warm, dart away, settling on the flickering departure board as if it holds the answers I'm already afraid to ask. I force a laugh, then embrittle. "Must be a mix-up, right? You booked both tickets, Claire." My voice wavers, clinging to the edge of hope. She nods, but it's mechanical, her lips pressed into a line that doesn't quite reach a smile. The agent taps her keyboard, her face blank with professional indifference. "Can you check again?" I ask, my fingers tightening around the handle of my suitcase. Claire's hand brushes mine, fleeting, like she's already pulling away. The terminal smells of stale coffee and jet fuel. A sensory assault that grounds me in this moment of unraveling. Around us, travelers rush past. Families with screaming kids, businessmen barking into phones, a couple locked in a tearful goodbye. I want to grab Claire's arm, demand she look at me, but her gaze stays fixed on the board, her profile sharp and distant. "It's fine," she says finally, her voice soft but clipped. "I'll sort it out." She steps toward the counter, leaving me stranded in the crowd, my pulse hammering in my ears. We've been married 7 years, Claire and I. 7 years of late-night talks, shared dreams, and the quiet comfort of her hand in mine. This trip to Paris was supposed to be our reset. A chance to stitch up the fraying edges of our marriage after months of her late nights at the office, her distracted silences, the way she'd flinch when I touched her. I'd noticed the signs, hadn't I? The way her phone was always face down, the vague excuses about client dinners. But I told myself it was stress, nothing more. Love makes you blind. Or maybe it just makes you stupid. "Sir," the agent says, pulling me back. "There's a ticket for Claire Hammond, but nothing for you. Was it booked separately?" Her words land like a punch, and I feel the air leave my lungs. Claire's still at the counter, her voice low as she speaks to another agent, her hands gesturing in that familiar, graceful way. But something's off, her posture, too stiff, her laugh too forced. I step closer, catching fragments of her words. "Just need to change it. One way." My stomach twists. "One way?" "Claire." I call, my voice sharper than I intend. She turns, and for a split second, I see something flicker in her eyes. Guilt, maybe, or fear. Then it's gone, replaced by that practiced calm she's always been so good at. "What's going on?" I ask, closing the distance between us. The crowd seems to fade, the world narrowing to just her and me. She hesitates, her fingers twisting the strap of her purse. "It's just a glitch, Tom," she says, but her voice cracks on my name, and I know she's lying. A glitch. I want to believe her, but the pieces don't fit. Last night, she'd packed with meticulous care, folding her dresses with a reverence I hadn't seen in months. She'd hummed to herself, a tune I didn't recognize, and when I'd asked her about it, she'd brushed it off. "Just something from work," she'd said, her smile tight. I'd let it go, like I always did, because questioning Claire felt like doubting the sun would rise. But now, standing in this sterile terminal, I can't ignore the chill creeping up my spine. "Let's step aside," she says, guiding me toward a quieter corner near a coffee kiosk. The smell of burnt espresso clings to the air, and I notice her hands are trembling, just slightly. She's nervous, and Claire is never nervous. "Tom, I need to tell you something," she begins, her voice barely above a whisper. My heart stumbles, and I brace myself, but nothing prepares me for what comes next. "I'm not going to Paris with you." The words hang between us, heavy and sharp, like a blade poised to fall. I blink, trying to process, but my mind is a tangle of static. "What do you mean?" I manage, my voice hoarse. She looks down, her lashes casting shadows on her cheeks, and I notice how tired she looks, haunted almost. "I'm leaving," she says, softer now, but each word cuts deeper. "I've been offered a job in London. I'm taking it." London. The word feels foreign, absurd. "You didn't tell me about any job." My voice rises, drawing a glance from a passing traveler. Claire flinches, but she doesn't back down. I didn't know how to tell you, she says, her eyes finally meeting mine. They're wet, but there's a resolve there I don't recognize. Things haven't been right between us for a long time, Tom. You know that. I want to argue, to shout that she's wrong, but the truth is a splinter under my skin. The late nights, the silences, the way she'd stopped wearing her wedding ring, claiming it was uncomfortable. I'd rationalized it all, but now the evidence is piling up, undeniable. So that's it. I ask, my voice breaking. You're just walking away? She swallows, and I see the struggle in her face, the war between guilt and determination. I'm sorry, she whispers. I met someone. The world tilts. My knees buckle, and I grip the edge of a nearby table, the cold metal grounding me. Someone. I repeat, the word tasting like ash. Who? She hesitates, and I know before she says it. It's Mark, isn't it? Her coworker, the one she'd mentioned too often. The one whose name always came with a smile she didn't mean to show. She doesn't deny it, and that silence is louder than any confession. I think of the messages I'd glimpsed on her phone. The ones I'd told myself were innocent. The way she'd laughed at his jokes at the company party, her hand lingering on his arm a second too long. I'd ignored it, because love is trust, isn't it? But trust is a fragile thing, and mine is shattering, piece by jagged piece. Why didn't you tell me? I ask, my voice raw. Why lie? She looks away, her jaw tight. I didn't want to hurt you, she says, and I almost laugh at the absurdity. Hurt me. I snap. You booked a one-way ticket to London with him, Claire. You let me pack for a trip that was never going to happen. Her eyes flash with something, defiance maybe. I didn't know how to leave, she says. I thought this would be easier. Easier. The word burns. I want to scream, to beg, to shake her until she takes it all back. But I'm frozen, rooted to this spot in the middle of an airport that feels like a graveyard for our marriage. What about us? I ask, quieter now, the fight draining out of me. She shakes her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. There hasn't been an us for a long time, Tom. The finality of it hits me like a wave, pulling me under. I see our life together in flashes. Our first date, her laugh in the rain, the way she'd curl into me at night. All of it gone. I want to hate her, but all I feel is a hollow ache, a love that refuses to die even as it's betrayed. She steps back, her suitcase rolling behind her. I have to go, she says, her voice barely audible. My flight's boarding. I watch her walk away, her figure blurring in the crowd, and I realize the twist. She's not just leaving me, she's already gone. The ticket, the shrug, the lies, they were her goodbye, and I was too blind to see it. As the terminal swallows her, I'm left with nothing but the echo of her absence and the weight of a truth I'll carry for Eve.